In this guided meditation, I'm going to go through a really positive and powerful way to help soothe mental health issues and to help understand what your true nature is, which will help you to guide the mind away from things that are labelled a certain way with a true understanding based on the spiritual truth and scientific truth and fact. So with mental health issues, the fundamental idea is that there is a mind that is separate from what you are, that has an issue, and yet fundamentally when you look at it with spiritual eyes, you realise that there is no person here. With self-enquiry, there is an understanding that the mind is really not what you are. The mind is simply made up of different thoughts and mental images and words which appear inside. However, these are just states of consciousness, not really separate from pure consciousness. They just appear to be. And so really there is no mind or thoughts that have become muddled or riddled. Pure awareness is always free. This fundamental truth that because you are pure awareness, you are always free as well, is something that brings great joy, because you realize that you don't need to cover up, you don't need to find solutions, you don't need to chase the mind to answer its questions, to be so logical and driven by what could be or what could have been, or expectations, or the way things should have been, the way you should have been. All of the mind's thoughts and trauma, or mental images, catastrophizing. Right here and now, awareness is completely pure and free. As they say, what's wrong with right now if you don't think about it? So just come back to my voice and listen and understand that there is ultimate freedom right here and now. Awareness is always free. So you can stop labeling mental health issues with these labels that have been created. They don't need to take on a separate life form. You don't need to label them as you having these things. Realize that they are just waves in consciousness, and that the ultimate solution is to realize what you really are, which is pure consciousness. Because pure consciousness cannot become something. It cannot ever become a person who has these mental health issues. That's impossible. And so there's a fundamental shift towards having complete certainty that nothing can ever happen to what you really are. There is no who you are. There is only what you are, which is that you exist, that you are pure beingness. You are pure consciousness. And that is always free, because that is what everything is. Everything is pure consciousness. And everyone around you is that same consciousness. Really, it's as if there's only one person on this planet, appearing as 8 billion different people. The truth is, underneath it all, there's only one being here. And that is immensely relaxing to know the truth, that everything is one. So coming back to the meditation, just relax, breathe deeply and fluidly, and hold in mind the fact that what you really are is pure awareness. No matter how riddled or muddled your thoughts are, you can always come back to this truth. No matter what your feelings are, however negative they are, your attention is always free. And you are always free because you are that awareness. You don't need to chase something or get away from anything, although your mind makes you feel like that's the case. And the great beauty of these teachings and words of wisdom, which are inherently within everybody, they're not owned by anybody, they're just channeled in, and this is the time when the wisdom becomes available to everyone. The great beauty is that you are always free, and that these apparent problems can be seen through. The mind brings them up. Yes, there are practical things that need to be addressed, however they are addressed easily without the emotions, without all the emotional baggage, without all the stress, and without any of the mental turmoil. Consciousness is allowed to be free, and solutions and remedies are found much more easily. It's one of the great truths, is that when you stop using your mind and stop overthinking, everything resolves itself naturally. Thoughts resolve themselves. Inspiration is downloaded when it's needed. An empty, clear mind allows you to stay in the here and now. And things in life all organize themselves because the divine only wants the best for what you are. It's always seeking to grow. All of these things are tied together. Synchronicities happen wonderfully. Everything is revealed. And to get to this place, all we have to do is meditate on the truths. Focus on what is real, which is pure awareness. Relax into the here and now. And you can use self-enquiry to ask, to shift your awareness away from thoughts and feelings. To simply ask, who is thinking? Who is it that is thinking? Who is it that is feeling? Who is it that is feeling right now? And there is no answer really, which points to the fact that what you are is pure and empty awareness. And if there is an answer, like I am or me, just have a look at those words and the fact that they are just words. They're just labels and references to an imaginary person, just like your name. It's a label and a reference that is useful as a tool in the world. However, when you identify with that I or me, that's when the trouble starts. It's so subtle, it's such a blind spot that nobody notices it really, unless it's pointed out to them. Which is why so many mystics and spiritual sages throughout the ages have had to go into deep meditation to discover these truths of what we really are. However, now we live in an amazing time where there's a global spiritual awakening, and these truths are becoming more and more easy to access and pass around because of technology. We're all standing on the shoulders of giants with our ancestral love and all the positive intentions that all of our ancestors have passed down through the years to bring us to this time when this profound knowledge becomes common knowledge and the whole of humanity has the opportunity to wake up and be free.